let's get a few things out of the way. The first thing I want to say is that you're bad at nothing. There may be some things that you may struggle at, but I believe you have tons of potential. You just gotta put in the work. What's going on with you guys? TheCaliEffect, king of games here, and today we're gonna be talking about bad decks with tons of potential. Now, I really dislike calling any Yu-Gi-Oh strategy bad, but that's probably the best way to describe these decks. I want to give you guys an accurate representation of what they are, but boy, these strategies have tons of potential. I personally feel if you wanted a lower tier deck to maybe play around with your casual friends, or if you wanted to invest into something that can potentially be a lot better, then these are probably the strategies you should be looking into for January 2021. So of course, if you want to see more videos like this, then be sure to destroy that subscribe button, as well as let us know down below in the comment section what are some other decks that have huge amounts of potential. Alright, so now that I have all of that out of the way, if you want to see more TheCaliEffect and a little bit on the uncensored side, then maybe you should check me out on Twitter. The last few months of me having Twitter have been transformative. I found the dark side. But other than that, it's been pretty much a blast talking to you guys, and I hope to see more of you there. So without further ado, let's jump on in. The first strategy has never been a deck that has made the competitive scene, but I think players that are fans of Kite from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexo era are still holding out for this deck to dominate a particular format. The Galaxy strategy is an Exceed based strategy that is focused on making rank 4s and rank 8s. Some of its most powerful Galaxy monsters include number 90 Galaxy Photon Lord, Galaxy Titanic Dragon, Galaxy Eyes Cypher and Blade Dragon, and of course Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Basically, this deck is really good at special summoning Galaxy or Photon monsters to your side of the field and use them for huge Exceed plays that can be either A, game winning on their own right because the attack is just so powerful, or B, can help you get into your other cards inside of your deck to your side of the field, namely Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Now, with that being said, there are a few problems with the Galaxy strategy, and one of them has to be the amount of hand usage to the board that you can make. It takes a ton of resources in your hand to make 2 disruption boards. That's typically not going to cut it in current Yu-Gi-Oh! Another problem with the Galaxy Photon strategy is that while a lot of the cards are inclusive to both archetypes or sub-archetypes, some of the cards require you to have a specific Galaxy or Photon card on the field or graveyard in order to activate its effects. For example, cards like Galaxy Trance and Galaxy Brave are pretty powerful, but unfortunately they require you to target particular cards. Why does it do that? And then there's Galaxy Eyes Afterglow Dragon, which made its debut in the legendary Duelist Season 2. It's a pretty good card, but unfortunately it needs to have a Galaxy Eyes monster to summon it. Oh man. Regardless, the Galaxy strategy has tons of potential, summoning some of the most feared Exceed monsters to your side of the field. With the highest attack points that we've probably ever seen in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! The Galaxy strategy is too strong. A strategy that I think is just completely brimming with potential, it just needs a little bit of help from Konami, is the Spellbook strategy. Now, for the players that have not played back in the day and are familiar to Sky Strikers, Spellbooks are similar to Sky Strikers in their own way. The Spellbook strategy is built on activating as many Spellbook spell cards as possible. Cards like Spellbook of Secrets and Spellbook of Masters allow you to add Spellbook cards from your deck to your hand, as well as copy a Spellbook card in your graveyard, which means you can copy Secrets to add another Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. It has great strength through cards like Spellbook of Power, which can increase the attack of one of your Spellbook monsters, and Spellbook of Wisdom, which can make one of your Spellcaster monsters unaffected by spell and trap cards. One of the most powerful cards in Spellbook Arsenal is Spellbook of Fate, allowing you to flip monsters face down or face up, return spell or trap cards to even banish a card non-targeting on the field. The Spellbook strategy pretty much fell completely out of popularity with the banning of Spellbook Judgment. Contrary to popular belief, I believe that bringing this card off of the Forbidden List would make Spellbooks really strong, but not overbearing. What Spellbooks could use is another Spellbook spell card that apply to today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe special summoning spellcaster monsters from your deck up to the number of Spellbook cards in your graveyard, but then restricting you to only playing spellcaster monsters for the duration of the turn. This would be huge for spellcaster monsters in total. The Spellbook strategy is one of the more versatile strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today. It actually is kind of good right now if you played it right, but it can always be a little better. That's what we mean by tons of potential. Now, we can stay in that Spellbook era around the 2012-2013 era. I know a strategy that just kept getting popular, it would never die. Mermail was a very popular strategy back in those days. Every single time the Forbidden List came out, if Mermail wasn't a competitive deck, then players would always look to innovate the strategy and bring it back into the competitive scene. This pretty much lasted all the way until Master Rule 4 and even a little bit beyond it, as Mermails were able to adapt to Lynx a little bit and still being able to put some pretty progressive cards on the board. The Mermail strategy is built off of activating the effects of your Mermail or Atlantean cards by sending them to the graveyard for the effect of another Mermail card. Cards like Mermail Abyss Megalo seem almost suicidal to summon, giving up 2 additional water monsters to summon until you factor in you're sending cards like Atlantean Dragoons, which allows you to add Sea Serpent monsters from your deck to your hand. Only then you start to realize the true potential of this water deck. Mermail prides itself on being able to make huge OTK-like boards, but when it can control the tempo of the game by being able to easily make Bahamut Shark to totally awesome, or snatch cards out of your opponent's hand with Deep Sea Minstrel and Mulling Glacia. Now, unfortunately, the reason why the Mermail strategy just isn't as good as it used to be is that a lot of combo decks require 1 to 2 of almost any card in their deck to make full combo. Mermail needs pretty specific cards to make these full combos, and they're not hard to interrupt. Cards like Deep Sea Diva and Atlantean Prince Nephthybus were really strong when they first came out, but now in 2021 Yu-Gi-Oh! They're just a little dated. Now, the cool thing I like about Mermail is that it continues to get support. While not directly, Deep Sea has received support, Atlantean has received support. Hopefully in the future we might get some Mermail cards that'll keep us up with the times. I can see a Mermail spell card which allows us to search Mermail cards from our decks to our hands, with the only drawback is being locked into special summoning water monsters or something like that. That could put Mermail back into the top contending meta. Regardless, if you're Konami watching this video, I just have to say, what are you waiting for? Make this Mermail support happen. I think a good portion of the community would not only love it, this is a strategy that has tons of potential. Now, another competitive strategy just so happened to be a fan favorite. Who would have imagined that this deck actually won Worlds as a deck that is nothing but a nostalgia trip? The Blue Eye strategy is really that ultimate creature with an engine of destruction. It was based on summoning Blue Eye Spirit Dragon from your extra deck, which allowed you to not only negate cards in the graveyard, but it contributed itself to be able to special summon light dragon monsters from your extra deck to your side of the field. Back then, this was phenomenal. Cards like Black Rose, Moonlight, and Stardust Spark Dragon are amazing cards. One allows you to protect cards on your side of the field, while the other one provides disruption. It actually just got reprinted inside of the Legendary Duelist Season 2, so I mean, who knows, it might be coming back into the game. The Blue Eye strategy nowadays is just slightly different. By utilizing a Guard Dragon engine, you can still make that Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, but a Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, as well as a rank 8 monster of your choice, typically Hope Harbinger, can be made with just 2 cards in hand. The Blue Eye strategy has adapted well in terms of being able to be a viable strategy. It went from summoning huge beast sticks to your side of the field to making some really good disruption boards and can play through disruptions itself. Blue Eyes' hugest problem is consistency. Some of the most important cards like Sage with the Eyes of Blue in the White Stone Legends are cards that are almost impossible to search inside of your Blue Eyes deck. There's also cards like the Melody of Awakening Dragon, which is really important to the strategy, and while it is searchable, the card that can search it is, just don't play it. Blue Eyes is no stranger to inconsistency. It was often called Brick Eyes even when it was a top contending deck, but Konami can pretty much fix that. All you have to do is make those cards searchable. That's literally the only thing we're waiting on for Blue Eyes players. That, and if they can give us more Synchro Light Dragon monsters that Blue Eye Spirit Dragon can special summon that would be useful, that would be helpful too. The Blue Eye strategy is so fun that me and Meshach decided to make a live duel between both of these strategies. And of course, if you guys want to see it, then be sure to destroy that like button, as well as let us know down below in the comment section if that's something you want to see. And the last strategy is just oozing with potential. It's a deck that will continuously get support throughout the year, so I wouldn't count it out until it stops getting support. The Tribergate strategy is a strategy consisting of Beast, Beast Warrior, and Winged Beasts. This deck actually works with other Beast, Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast decks like Melfin, Harpies, Gladiator Beast, Zodiac, Fire Fist, you name it. This strategy can mix pretty well with all of them. Tribergate's base strategy is basically to special summon link monsters from your extra deck by banishing Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters from your graveyard. And some of its most powerful plays include making the Samorg link to be able to special summon Barrier Statue of the Winds to your side of the field, to being able to make the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist link to be able to gain the effects of your Fire Fist cards without sending fire formations from your field to the graveyard. Now, the cool thing about Tribergate is that it already has confirmed support in Blazing Vortex, and that one particular card has actually made Tribergate a topping strategy in the OCG. By much? No, not really, but it did top a few times. I mean, there's that. Now, you could say I'm completely biased for the Tribergate strategy, as Beast Warriors are some of my favorite type of monsters, but I personally really think that Tribergates have so much potential as long as Beast, Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast link monsters keep getting printed. Well, I mean, Tribergate always have an opportunity to abuse that link monster like no other. Well, that's all that we have for bad decks with tons of potential. It was really fun to make this video. I enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and give this video a like, as well as check out these other videos. They are amazing. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll catch you on the next video.